This story was sent to me by Astarte Jones, and it is coming out of Seattle, Washington, where you have this man by the name of Kaleb James Cole, who had a bunch of weapons, a lot of artillery weapons, and he was preparing for something. First off, let me just say he's a part of a neo-Nazi group. That should let you know what he was getting prepared for. They said he was getting prepared for a race war. But the thing that I did not understand, just based on reading the subheading under the title, was them saying they seized the weapons, he was arrested, but they didn't charge him with a crime. But they got him under that red flag law, that new law that they just implemented. So my thing is this: if you weren't going to charge him with anything, one, why even arrest him? And two, why even take his guns? I mean, that was silly. I swear this establishment is ran by some idiots. Now, had that been a black man, they would have not only taken his weapons, but he would have been charged with a whole bunch of things. They would have had him in jail, and we probably would have had his picture all over the place. And because they love to put out this narrative that black people are the ones that are dividing the establishment, but every time it seems like something like this come up, it's always a palm-colored face in there somewhere. But swear up and down that it's us causing all this division. We cause division when we just bring up the word racism. You ever notice that them trolls coming to your comment section or anywhere else when you're having a discussion and saying, stop being so divisive? First off, we weren't talking to you, palm colored. Why are you even here? That's why I said they're not far removed from their ancestors, because they went from invading countries and nations to invading conversations. But let me go ahead and read this article coming from NBCnews.com. It says firearms belonging to the suspected leader of a neo-Nazi group who was thought to be preparing for a quote-unquote race war has been seized under a red flag law in Washington state. Authorities removed 5 rifles, 3 pistols, and other gun components from Kaleb James Cole, age 24, under a state law that allows authorities to take guns from people deemed to be a risk to themselves or others for up to a year. Cole has not been charged with any crime, yet he's a part of a neo-Nazi group, and they believe he was trying to start a race war, but he wasn't charged with a crime. Make it make sense. Seattle City Attorney Pete Holmes believes the seizure, which court documents indicate happened September 26, may have prevented a massacre. This is a hate-filled human being, but unfortunately one who possesses really alarming numbers of weapons. Attempts to reach Cole at phone numbers listed in public records that may be linked to him were not successful Friday evening. It was not immediately clear if he has an attorney. Prosecutors filed a lawsuit against Cole invoking the state's red flag law and seeking an extreme risk protection order. 17 states and Washington, D.C. have laws allowing family members or police to remove weapons from people who may be dangerous. The National Rifle Association has opposed some current protection order laws, arguing they deprive gun owners of due process. Cole is a self-admitted member of the Ottawapan Division, which the Southern Poverty Law Center is a terroristic national socialist organization that believes in using violence for apocalyptic racial cleansing, and is thought to be the leader of the Washington state chapter, Seattle police said in its petition for the court order. Police believe Cole participated in recent firearm training and recruitment efforts at hate camps, which officials say he helped organize. It appears that he has gone from espousing hate to now taking active steps of preparation for an impending race war. Included with the police petition were a cell phone photo of Cole giving the Nazi salute and another of him and another person standing in front of the Auschwitz death camp in Poland. Cole was stopped as he arrived at Chicago O'Hare Airport in December 2018 after a 25-day trip to Eastern Europe, and officials then noted that he had been identified in an article as being Ottawapan's Washington state chapter leader, Custom and Border Protection said in documents attached to the petition. Cole allegedly admitted his membership in CPB, wrote in its report that he stated that he shares a fascist ideology, strong dominate the weak. But that report also said that Cole told officials he discourages members from doing anything illegal and that his group is not interested in to overthrow the U.S. government. He said he owned an AK-47 and several handguns for protection. Cole released after being questioned. Cole was deported from Canada earlier this year because officials felt he was a member of an organization that may engage in terrorism. Seattle police said in his petition for the extreme risk protection order, Cole is said to have been barred from Canada for life. Now, if he's been deported from Canada, that means he's a Canadian, which means he's technically here as an immigrant. They need to, if he can't go back to his native land, then maybe he can go back to his native cave. Send his ass packing to Eastern Europe. King County prosecutor Dan Satterberg told NBC affiliate King of Seattle that in the addition to the weapons seized, which included what he characterized as military-style assault rifles, components and tools that could be used to make untraceable firearms were also found. Satterberg said that much of the material presented to the judge was information already on the internet and involved statements by Cole. It wasn't anything super secret that he had to tell the judge. It was just, here's what this guy's about. He's leading other people in practicing and informing a potential violent cell that would act on their white supremacist views. So that was enough to convince this judge that at least temporarily, let's take a time out. Let's take these guns out and let's see what we've got here. It isn't a crime. He's not being charged. He's not in jail. It's a way to slow things down. And that's the problem right there. The constant slap on the wrist and the handling of kid gloves is why he's probably going to do this again. Imagine what he might have stockpiled somewhere else. That's just what they have here at this location. He probably has another undisclosed location where he has other weapons and probably more serious than the ones he has that they got. The issue of red flag laws like the Washington one, under which Cole's weapons were seized, has been raised in Congress following mass shootings this year in Gilroy, California, El Paso, Texas, and in Dayton, Ohio. By the way, all of them were done by palm-colored males. The NRA Institute for Legislative Action denied media reports that suggested the group supports red flag laws as they exist in some states, and it said it opposes such laws because they do not protect due process rights. We will only support an ERPO process that strongly protects both Second Amendment rights and due process rights at the same time, the NRA said in January. I'm not in the least bit surprised that they did not even charge him with a crime, even though he planned to carry out, or his plans was to create or start a so-called race war, or quote-unquote race war. Notice that every time the whole race war narrative comes up, it usually involves someone that looks like him all the time. But they keep their crosshairs honed in on us. See, they probably can't wait for one of us to do or try to do something like this so they can really go in on their narrative. Meanwhile, who's doing all the mass shootings? And it doesn't matter where it could be at. It could be at a school. It could be at a place of business. It could be at a store, a restaurant, a movie theater, wherever. Just out in public places. But they are too focused on us to want to give a damn about them. I'm telling you, this is probably not going to be the last time we hear about this guy. I have a feeling we're going to hear about him again. How soon? Who knows? But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one.